Nigeria's chief defense staff says that they have identified the location that the kidnapped girls are being held in. There are about 200 girls, or more than 200 girls, that have been kidnapped by Islamist insurgents in Nigeria. They're known as Boko Haram. And the reason why they got kidnapped was because they had the audacity to try to get an education in the country. So what ended up happening is they kidnapped them and tried to sell the girls off as slaves for as little as $12 each. And there are a number of governments that are now getting involved in the search efforts. China has gotten involved, the UK, United States, France. Lots of people really concerned about this story. But what's interesting is the authorities in the country were very, very close to an agreement, a negotiation that would release some of the girls. But the president, Goodluck Jonathan, decided, no, I'm not agreeing to these terms. Now, let me tell you what the agreement was. The agreement was almost reached to release 50 of the girls in exchange for the release of 100 Boko Haram prisoners. So you can kind of understand why the authorities decided that they would not take that deal, especially when you consider the thousands of people that have died in Nigeria due to the violent actions of Boko Haram. But what's also fascinating is the Nigerian government refuses any military intervention. In fact, the Nigerian military says it knows where they are being held by Boko Haram, but many Nigerians will be skeptical about this statement. It is impossible to verify, and throughout the conflict, the government and the military have issued many reports totally at odds with eyewitnesses' accounts in northern Nigeria. So there is a little bit of a question as to whether or not they have identified the location of the women, but the Nigerian government is also saying that they're hesitant to use any type of military force because they worry that Boko Haram will react in a violent way and just murder the girls instead of negotiate with them or work with them to release them. So that's an interesting take on it. I am not a defense expert. I don't know what the right way to handle this is. But what I do know is that it makes me sick to know that fundamentalists like this think it's acceptable and it's moral to kidnap innocent girls that are seeking an education.